Hello everybody, Vinnie Christiano III here, and early this week the sun is shining in downtown Buffalo. That means there are plenty of bright spots to highlight on this week's edition of Around Canisius Athletics presented by Niagara Scenic Tours. The number 8 Canisius Golden Griffins defeated the number 9 Mercyhurst Lakers 5-2 in the opening round of the 2024 Atlantic Hockey postseason on Saturday night. Kyle Haskins netted what would be the game winner as part of a 2-point evening, joining 4 other Griffs in finding the back of the net. This weekend, Canisius travels to Worcester, Massachusetts to renew acquaintances with Holy Cross in the quarterfinals of the Atlantic Hockey postseason in a best-of-3 series. After a split last week, the women's basketball team has officially clinched a top 5 seed and a bye in the first round of the MAC basketball tournament next week in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The Griffs were led on Senior Day in their defeat of Ryder by sensational Cici Aleko, who had 21 points and 13 rebounds, Athena Lexa adding 19 of her own, and a new career-high 15 from Ty Fulton. The only remaining game on the calendar for the Blue and Gold is a rivalry matchup inside the Gallagher Center against the Niagara Purple Eagles on Saturday. The men's basketball team earned a split of their own last week at home, defeating Mount St. Mary's in a tightly contested game on Friday evening before their comeback bid fell just short against the Bronx on Sunday. Devin Williams led Griffs scores with 34 points between the two games, and the Main Street monster Frank Mitchell moved up to 4th place nationally in rebounds per game. With only 2 games left on the schedule for the Griffs, the first one is nationally televised on ESPNU at Fairfield on Thursday night, before they head to take on Manhattan on Saturday, March 9th. The baseball team left UNC Greensboro on a winning note as Jackson Strong, going 4 for 4 at the plate, boosted the team to an 8-3 victory on Sunday afternoon. They have a non-conference tune-up against Niagara scheduled for Tuesday before a trip to D.C. to take on George Washington this weekend. Meanwhile, the softball team front and back-ended their trip to Kentucky with wins as they defeated Ball State and Purdue Fort Wayne by 1 run each. They're also on the road this weekend, but not quite as far away, as they'll take on the Penn State Invitational Friday through Sunday. The men's lacrosse team fell in double overtime to Cleveland State on Friday afternoon in a back-and-forth contest that saw both Patrick Mitchell and Jackson Webster score hat-tricks. Meanwhile, the women's lacrosse team held off a comeback from Detroit Mercy to win 14-11, a game in which 6 different Griffs scored goals, including the newest Griff to record a hat trick this season, Grace Harner. Both teams will be on the Dembski this week as the women's team hosts Lemoyne on Wednesday afternoon and New Hampshire on Saturday morning, and the men's team will host MAC Foe Quinnipiac to kick off conference play as part of the doubleheader on Saturday. With Maura Jordan and the women's DMR team breaking their own program records at the ECAC Championships last weekend, the indoor track season has officially concluded. Before we conclude this episode of Around Canisius Athletics, I want to remind you to check out GoGriffs.com to get tickets for next week's MAC Basketball Championships in Atlantic City and to find out where you can watch the Griffs on the road and at home on ESPNU and ESPN Plus this week. Enjoy the nice weather, everybody, for this week's edition of Around Canisius Athletics presented by Niagara Scenic Tours. I'm Vinnie Christiano III. We'll see you next time, and